As you can see, I bought a shredder. So I was just on vacation and scrolling through eBay at 2 in the morning in a hotel room, and I came across this listing, and I have the single click bid option for my phone, and I bid on the shredder, and for some reason no one bid after me. So I sat the high bidder for 12 hours and won. I was a little upset at first, but not really, because it's been on my list for a long time. It was definitely not the one that I had intended to buy next, but it has been on my list for a long time, and I have an issue with this one. As you can see, it's got its wheels off. It's on the bench. I'm pretty sure there's an issue with the rear diff already. It's a common issue, and lots of folks complain about it. I did some research because I was going to buy either this or the Kaiju, and I went with the Kaiju first. But one of the things that kind of persuaded me and pushed me towards the Kaiju was how many people were having trouble with their differentials, specifically the front and rear differentials. Maybe the rear more than anything, but both of them have had issues. And the problem seems to be with shimming, and the strength of the internal gears. So basically what happens is the mesh between the bigger gear and the smaller spider gears is not tight enough, so the gears slip. It's very common, tons of videos on YouTube, especially from guys like Rage RC Repair. He's done quite a number of videos on basically just diffs. So if you search Redcat Shredder Differential, it's basically just him. So I'm pretty confident that the issue is going to be the rear differential specifically. I didn't hear it up front. I didn't hear it in the spur. I only heard it in the back. And given that this has basically 5 minutes of runtime, maybe it's not damaged so badly that the original one can't be used. So I got some coming as a spare. And what we're going to do now is take it apart, take a look at it, and we'll see if any of my suspicions are confirmed. Okay, so we're going to start by removing the rear wing mount, and as far as I can tell, there's 6 screws. There's 2 here in these bottom larger holes, then there's 2 on this tower here and here, and then if you have one of these types or a long screwdriver, you can put the driver right down the middle and get access to the 2 screws that are on the tops right here on both sides, and that basically lets this thing loose, and I believe it's being held on by 1 screw here in the front. I'm going to try to take this off. So I'm going to assume, just based on the what I see out here, that it's definitely going to be something with the differential. If you look, it's pretty clear the previous owner had some kind of problem with it, and returned it rather than try to fix it or deal with it. So we will show it the love and attention it deserves. And this won't be my first $400 Redcat that is broken basically out of the box. LOL. Yeah, there we go. Well, actually, it looks like now that we're in here, there's definitely lubrication in there, and I'm not sure the weights or the grease type or anything, but it looks adequate, and it's pretty tight from the shaft here to the outer gear here, or not tight, but correct. So I'm pretty certain the issue is inside. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a ton of play in how much the drive cups come in and out of the differential. I can feel it slipping in there. So that's probably the problem. It seemed to be fine without any load, but once you put the wheel load on it, it wouldn't move correctly. So cosmetically, it looks in pretty good shape, but there's a little bit of wear on the drive cups. See the shape of this channel wallered out a little bit on all the sides. So it's not brand new, but in pretty good shape otherwise, besides whatever this problem is. So let me get this cleaned up, and we will break this out and inspect the gears inside. Alright, so top of the diff case is clean. The cavity in here is clean-ish. We're going to take this apart and do a quick inspection and make sure the gears are worth saving and don't need to be replaced. Then we'll take a look at the fluid and see if there's if it's kind of shiny, like when you change the oil in your car, especially a new car, where you see kind of like the metal shavings that mix with the oil. See how bad the residue is. So there's 4 screws on top here. You see them 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're 2mm hex. They're not in very tight. I don't know if that's a symptom of these issues or if that's because someone else has been in here or tried to fix it and didn't put them back in very tight. Maybe that's part of the reason there's so much play. The gears look like to be in pretty decent shape. Maybe. Let me clean them off. Aha, boys. Here's the problem. That's exactly what it is. The profile, I'll show you in a second, the profile of the teeth are worn down. Where the gear is, there's a flat side of it, so it wasn't tight enough and caused some wear, and it's got kind of a wave shape to it. Instead of being straight like this, it's kind of rounded, and the very ends of it out here have like kind of a little let's see if we can see the profile there. So it's got kind of a shape, like a downward shape, and then a sharp angle up. So that's what it is. This gear is damaged and probably can't be salvaged. The profile of these teeth probably can't be salvaged. So pretty good that I got another one coming. Should be here tomorrow. We're going to get some shims to push it inside there. We're going to try to push this plate forward so that the face of these gears mesh deeper with the gears inside here. These gears are perfect. There's nothing wrong with these. The spider gears don't have any issues. It's annoying to have to fix a brand new thing, but the problem is easy enough and it shouldn't be that big a deal at all. So, okay, we're going to take a little break here, wait for the parts to come in, and should be back tomorrow. Okay, guys, it's been a few days, and the differential, the new differential, and the shims came in. So, a couple things I noticed while dismantling the first one I got and examining the replacement diff that came in, or one of the replacement diffs that came in. This one is missing the gasket. There's a gasket that goes around here. It's missing from this one, so it's a good thing we got a replacement one. Show on the close-up cam here. There's no gasket. I think I'm just going to use this one for parts. I'm going to order the internals, like a rebuild kit, and just hold that one for parts. But this is a factory unit, a factory replacement. And one of the things I noticed right off the bat was the amount of play. It's hard to show you because I already took that one apart, but the amount of play from pulling outward on the drive cups is minimal, extremely minimal compared to how much play I could move these back and forth. The other thing I notice while tearing this one apart is there's only one shim inside there. So there's one shim inside here. So it looks like the recommended number is 2 inside here. So I did pick up some shims that we can attempt to add some with. I'm going to break this one open and see what it looks like. The part number for this one says that it's hardened. So I don't know if at some point maybe they made some changes. It's very clear that they made some changes to the amount of play inside here. So I'm curious to determine if they actually added extra shims in here. So I'm going to take this apart and we'll take a look. And I guess just for the sake of demonstration, we'll put some of these shims inside here and we can test the play and see how it meshes. But I feel like it's going to be an inadequate test just given the condition of this gear. This gear is completely shot. I'll include a close-up photo of it just so you can see how bad the profile of the gears are. But I mean it's completely shot. So let me break this open and we'll see if there's a gasket and if they include any shims. Alright, so the screws are out. Let's see what it looks like inside. So you can see a gasket here. There it is, a little rubber gasket. And it appears like this version also only has one shim. So maybe the tolerances have changed. There's also a lot more lubrication in this, a lot more sticky lubrication in this than there was in the original differential. You know what I might do, just for giggles, is let's compare the sizing on this shim here. These are supposed to be 0.15 thick, but I think it looks like it's going to be the right size. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is the factory shim. This is the replacement shim. They look basically identical. So we will put on the new differential, we're going to put the one additional shim. So this is the factory shim. And we're going to add one of the newer ones. Interesting. It doesn't actually fit. It looks identical, but it doesn't slip over that shaft. Let's try the old one. Yeah, it doesn't slip over it. So they look the same size, but the center hole is just a tad bit wider. You probably can't see that. It's just a tad wider. Well, for now, I'll use the one that we pulled off the shredder, the original diff, until I can figure out something with those shims. Just for giggles, let's take a look at what's going on inside here. With this bottom gear is thrashed too. It's got that same kind of like wavy profile. Let me see if I can pull this gear out. You see that? All the teeth are eaten up. And you can see on my hands the oil has like metal shavings in it. And look at there's the profile. Look at the shape difference. Actually, we'll go one for one. So this is the top gear. You know, actually, I wonder if this isn't a different differential, because the inside part does not look the same. It's similar, but not identical. Maybe I'll leave that in there for now, and I'll double check the part numbers with Redcat, and we'll install this one, see if it's any better with the second shim, and then I'll do an update video. I can tell you at the very least the play back and forth is much tighter on the new one. Maybe there's some kind of rebuild kit or something. Actually, you know what? Maybe just to make sure. I wonder if I can slip. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna put a third washer here. Now they don't turn at all. Maybe it's too tight now. I'll take that last one out just in case. It did move it forward quite a bit. Here we go. Much better. So we have the new one. We're going to put that in. We'll rebuild this one when the parts come in, and we'll do a first run video. Okay, so it's basically dismantled, And normally I'd like to put a mark on the case for the side that the ring gear goes on, but I didn't do that. So just to familiarize myself with it and make sure it fits, we're going to pop it in there. See if we can turn it. Looks like it's turning. I think that's good to go. Do a quick little test here. Alright, so I think this will be fine. Typically, I'll pack these cases with the Lucas Marine Grease, but I'm going to try this Valvoline grease that I used to use on my motorcycle. I'm going to try that in here just because if I don't like it, I know I'm going to end up back here anyway, so we're going to try it this time. Put it around in here. What I like to do is pack it into the case. And then we'll put it onto the ring itself. What we're trying to do is put the grease in the path that the ring gear will turn, so that if for some reason it ends up slinging off of the gear, it should pick it back up in these other spaces. It also helps to kind of coat around the whole case, so just in case any dirt gets in there, it'll end up picked up by the grease instead of into the gear and wearing it out. You do kind of have to be careful. It could be a double-edged sword, to where if you do get sand in there or something like that, or a particulate, it could end up causing additional damage, because it could act as like some kind of an abrasive, or like a sanding compound. I haven't seen that happen too many times in RC cars, though. Fire up the truck. All right, I think we're in business, boys. All right, guys. So this is the somewhat maiden voyage after the diff change. Sounds a lot better. Man, it just mowed over that really tall grass, my neighbor. steering is just as bad as any Redcat I've ever driven. That's for sure. So we're gonna try to fix that. Has a little Carolina squat going on. Honestly, I expected it to feel slower than it is, given how big it is. It needs a little tuning, but I can see why it has some dedicated fans. It seems like it'd be extremely fun. It is a little lopsided. Maybe that has something to do with the steering, because I'm running one large battery. Whoa! Hit a stump. GoPro. Don't do this to me, GoPro. Let's see if it'll do my little jump here. No, not really. It needs some suspension work. That back is real saggy. Has that real heavy nosedive like the Punisher does. Even though we wore the battery down, let's try a little, we'll do my little cheapo GPS. All right. Looks like we're reading. Full throttle. We hit full throttle. Feels like maybe 40. Yeah, that can't be right. It says 16 miles an hour. It's definitely better than that. Man, it really starts to pull to the right once it starts getting some speed. Maybe I will charge up the batteries and take it to my construction spot and then give it a try in the dirt and see how that goes. I should probably tear it all the way down and take a look at the front diff and the center diff also. It's my understanding that the issue is mainly the rear diff, and that's brand new. But it's, I don't know if you can hear it. Try it this way. Making a little bit of a noise. Let's see what we got on the GPS. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. So the 35 miles an hour. Not super fast, not blazing fast, but I can tell you it is heavy, and it appears to be geared pretty low. I think I read it's a 1300 kV motor. That seems pretty low for just 4S. I would have expected, 2000 or something, maybe 1800. But I do know this is a pretty old chassis, pretty old version, and
just because of how quick Redcat made changes to the kaiju, I feel like the vehicle models they have that are like wholly their own, which I'm pretty sure this is their own. I don't think they'd share this chassis with anyone. They seem to be investing a little bit more resource into. So I would expect. I mean, it's a pretty hot seller. You know, I've seen it sell out several times since it's been on my list. I would expect a version 3 of this with addressed differentials, maybe the motor mount, and possibly a higher power system because how big and heavy this thing is. And a lot of folks, I mean, I don't particularly care because I bash, you know, I don't do anything with precision, but a lot of folks hate these tires. I can see why they do. But I feel like if we're talking about a must-haves list for an improved chassis, motor mount, diffs, and possibly metal spur gear. Those are the must-haves. Outrun this Amazon truck here. I think we got our speed run, so I'm going to take my phone off. Did it get any better? No, still 35. I feel like that's respectable, you know, between the gearing, the height, the weight, the motor power. I'm not upset. Plus, you know, I don't think you buy this for speed. I think this is one of the things where this is the ethos. Like, this proves the Redcat mantra where I know it says fast, affordable, fun, but I guess it's fast for something this size. You know, it's a little bit bigger than my Punisher. My Punisher is way faster than this thing, but you're getting it because it's huge. And I feel like it's a pretty decent package for how large it is. I kind of wish, I mean, I got a good deal on it, so I'm not super upset, but I kind of wish I would have bought it brand new, just so that I can have a little more peace of mind into what's actually happening with the front and center diffs. I can tell you right now, if they ever make a V3, an XTE V3, I'm buying it brand new. This is a pretty cool platform to have with some modern updates. Wife. we'll cut it here. Thanks for watching.